Rime of the Frostmaiden will be taking a short break. We should be back in a few minutes. Take this moment to refresh yourself, stretch, and perhaps get yourself a cup of tea. If you do not have the appropriate dishware, I will be happy to provide it myself, as well as the appropriate beverage. While you're waiting, do check out our social media. Any links to them are provided on screen. Follow our Twitter at A Minstrel's Tale for updates and additional content, and be sure to also follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/minstrel's tale to receive notifications for when the next stream goes live. Missed past episodes? Don't worry, they're all available to view on our YouTube channel, A Minstrel's Tale. Additionally, check out our card, rimeofthefrostmomo.crd.co for character bios, links to other social media, and more. Enjoy the break, and we'll be back soon with more Frostmaiden.
Good evening, viewers. Zarius here, reminding you to get up, stretch, even look away from your monitor for a few minutes. After all, self-care leads to a healthy mind, and, well, you want to be alert for what comes next. Perhaps even brew yourself a cup of tea. Get a little caffeine in you. Charlotte makes, by the way, hands down the very best tea in existence. If you think otherwise, I'd recommend stating your opinion outside of fireball range. I tend to get a little bit protective when she's involved.
Pleased to meet you. My name is Charlotte. I am a warforged of unknown origin with quite a few gaps in my memory. I first remember coming to consciousness when my now traveling companion and new flame Zarius stumbled upon my form buried under several feet of snow. He was on the brink of death when he found me, but I was able to give him another chance at life, just as he had me. We decided to travel together after that, and had been doing so for a year prior to meeting the rest of our lovely group. I do my utmost to protect all of them, as I care for them all deeply. That sometimes involves striking bargains with entities that don't exactly accept prayer in the traditional sense. But if anyone were to dare harm a member of my party, there would surely be bloodshed anyhow, don't you think? As for my missing memories, I'm quite torn on the matter. While I'd like to know more about my past, I suspect that what I learned will be neither pleasant nor painless if what I have recovered thus far is any indication of what's to come. I'm not going to let that get me down, however. While I'm not the biggest fan of my past, I am more than happy with my present, traveling 10 towns with my dear companions and protecting them every step of the way.
Arriving to the utterly insufficient dance floor, a beauty of unknown and mysterious origins whose piercing green eyes and agile movements have lanced through the heart and souls of any fated to see her, including my own. I give you the amazing, the cheerful, the unmatched Terpsichore.
Oh, Minstrel, stop! You're making me blush. As Minstrel so magnificently stated, I am Terpsichore. I've danced my way across the lands far and wide, filling crowds with glee. The lovely Clothis has led me to 10 towns with my wonderful, amazing, beautiful, spectacular friends. Fulfilling our predestined past is much more than I could have ever asked for, really. Oh, but do be careful. I won't hesitate to cut anyone's threads. Oh, wait. If you don't understand what that means, I mean that I'll kill you.
If your heart hasn't been moved, I know your wallets have. If you want to know more about this mysterious beauty, make sure to buy a copy of her artfully woven book, The Secrets of Faerun, sold at fine traders and general stores all across the realm.
Hi, I'm Dorielle, but you can call me Dory. You know what? We should just be friends. I'm going to tell you some stuff about me, and then you can tell me some stuff about you, and then we'll be friends, right? Okay, so a couple of things about me. I'm a satyr, obviously, but I'm from the Feywild, which is different from Schmo. He's from Cactus. I'm 10. My favorite food is sticky buns, especially when Zarius makes them. I really love the color lilac. I really like parties. I really like pranks. I'm super smart. I'm super wise. Ooh, I'm gonna tell you about my best friend. Her name's Miru. She's really nice. She brought me to 10 towns and she made me super duper powerful. And you know what? You should meet her. You can join the best friends club and she'll make you super powerful too. I think I see Charlotte coming over here. And she doesn't look too happy. I might be in trouble. Don't worry, I'm really good at getting out of trouble, especially with Charlotte. But I think I have to go. I promise I'll talk to you later. You can tell me all about you, but I have to go. Okay, bye!
Howdy there, my name's Schmo Iverson. It's a pleasure. I ended up in 10 towns due to some mind flayers abducting me when I was on my lonesome back in my homeland of Flagstaff. Stuff they did was mighty nasty, but to my surprise, their ship went and crashed in 10 towns. Luckily for me, I was born in Icewind, and so I made my way to 10 towns trying to figure out a cure for the parasite the mind flayers put in my brain. Along these travels, I did end up bumping into my party, and the rest is history. Though, might be important to mention, I did pass away in a nasty tussle, but was brought back by someone I have yet to know much about, hey, I got magic now.
A most eloquently spoken and unnaturally skilled plucker of strings surely needs no introduction, but if my realm-shaking reputation and voice, the likes of which the gods themselves wait on, have not reached the pale and unfortunate rock you live under, hearken to my words, for I will fill your poor uncultured ears with the tales of minstrel, harpist, bard, adventurer, and weaver of extraordinary stories. My voice unmatched, my tales unbeatable, my heart untaken. Or is it? Come now, dear listener, I will weave you tales of plucky adventures, downtrodden citizens, untoward warlords, and evils only the mightiest of hearers might vanquish. Listen well, for this very night I leave to share my stories and my lovely self with the next town in need of my glowing presence. Tonight you will become another one of the Bard Minstrel's biggest fans.
Humanity has many theories on why the universe is so quiet, on why we haven't discovered signs of intelligent life or heard the echoes of other sapient species of the past. Not many would have guessed it was because we were being protected, sheltered from the rest of the universe, from an ever-expanding war, and ultimately our responsibility within it. Regardless of whether or not humanity is ready for it, great change is coming. Evolution on a daily scale, powers that resemble magic from mythology, and an all-consuming enemy clawing at the proverbial gate. Humanity must adapt or die. Neither Arthur Blackburn nor his family are prepared for these tribulations, but they are determined to rise to the challenge. Ascendant Family is a lit RPG post-apocalyptic fantasy adventure centered around a family and their fight to survive, grow, and reunite in a world drastically changed by a foreign energy. They will fight beasts, monsters, and even their fellow man as they try to keep themselves and their community alive and safe. Grappling with new powers, strange enemies, and unexpected allies, they attempt to carve out a place for themselves in the new chaos of Earth, as they struggle to understand this new energy, the changes it's causing, and the strange war humanity has been thrust into. Greetings, audience. Please gaze upon the majestic makers of maps who enhance our stream. These colorful cartographers have no equal, and if you too wish to tread upon their velveteen creations, simply head to one of their Patreons below. These wizards of topography will surely appreciate it. They are Pogs Props, Maps and Quests, Dr. Mapso, Cartographer's Cantrip, Dynamic Dungeons, Dice Grimorium, Incarnate, The Modern Lich.
Frostmaiden will be back in just a few moments. Please gather up all snacks, loved ones, and ensure that you are seated comfortably and appropriately before you rejoin us on our adventure. We're glad to have you.
Ever the industrious adventurers, you can find A Minstrel's Tale on a plethora of social media websites. You can visit us on Twitter, for example, at A Minstrel's Tale. And please, don't forget that we stream every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can find us at twitch.tv/Minstrel's Tale. And, well, if you happen to miss a stream, a terrible crime indeed, have no fear. All of our previous streams are available on YouTube at the A Minstrel's Tale channel. Thank you for watching our content, and If you're feeling kind, please follow us.
Oh shit, where's
All
the
right.
fangirl?
All right, we are going to go ahead and get started. Thank you so much, everyone, for your patience today. All right, we are going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so, who would like to do a recap from last session?
I already have inspiration. Is there anyone else who would like to do it?
Oh, we will
Don't
not.
look at me.
We will not be granting inspiration. We will granting a most curious potion from my insane potion table. So,
That's right. Wait, did I get a potion last time?
you did get a potion. It was a most insane potion.
That's right. We never identified it.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Shiza. Alright.
Or you did identify it, I believe. And I believe I did put the information into campaign.
You did. Filter
Yes.
Dead Ringer.
It is
right.
a filtered dead ringer. Makes the user appear
Interesting.
completely undetectable to all magic, regular, with a slight side effect being irresistible urge to dance. It is a large bottle that can be swigged several times, which are 5. It is a metallic liquid with a cloudy murkiness to it. It is a thin and watery texture that tastes spicy. On the bottle is a label, and that label reads, "I am the beginning of the end and the end of before." It has 5 chugs and lasts 1 day. So if you would like to obtain another curious concoction, please let me know.
I have added it to my inventory for now.
Very good.
Let's see here. Yeah, I can, I will attempt to summon up everything in my brain. And if I miss anything, I request everyone's help.
Okay. I will, to make this quick, I know it took us some time with the rolls last session, I will go ahead and just start rolling for that potion for you now in Foundry.
So, we began the session having completed our delivery and debated for some time the merits of going after the group that was moving away with all of the shards of Chardolin. Everyone agreed that it was very concerning that the amount that they had, as well as who it might be going to, and we had some people who were more or did not want to go after it. Charlotte, Terpsichore, and excuse me, I was about to say a real player name. Charlotte, Terpsichore, and Zarius were able to convince most people. Sefik, I think, probably being the most difficult of the group to try and get going. When Charlotte went to go look for Schmo, however, she was not able to find him in the sauna, and as a result, we ended up waiting and potentially going to follow them in the morning after getting a night's rest. There was quite a bit of conversation around what to do, where Schmo might be, and trying to find them. I think we eventually settled on using sending to try and reach out to him if he did not return by the morning, with some very awkward explanations to Mew about what Schmo might be off doing. After that, the unwilling participant of Zarius, the rest of the group, decided to play 20 questions, and that is where we left off, basically. The group sitting in the inn room trying to get a good night's sleep, and then deciding what to do in the morning, whether to go off after this group or to stay in the town and potentially find some sort of adventuring work here, or try to convince the speaker not to sacrifice another person to Oral.
All right, very good. I am almost done brewing up your potion. I've got a couple more rolls to go. And I'm just going to tell you what it does this time. Since this is not one that you found, this is more of a...
Summoned from the ether.
Yes. You found it under the bed, you know? You were kind of curious and almost disgusted by the state of the room. You know, it seemed clean but very old, you know?
I definitely prestidigitation this whole goddamn place. Those rats were fucking everywhere.
Yeah. They were everywhere. All right, I'm almost done here. This is funny. It's I kind of like doing this instead because it makes things interesting, you know. So certainly very, very interesting. So, and strange. It's like blah, 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 blah. Almost done. We are getting to the end here. Got to get what the label says. The label's very important, right?
Maybe.
Oh, let's see.
If there's a label, at least know what it is.
Funny you say that, sir.
I don't like that.
All right. So, with that, we have our potion, and I'm actually getting this from a random potion table, which I found on Reddit, which was made 6 years ago. So, but yeah, I dig it, you know. So yeah, shout out to Reddit. So you find, as you were prestidigitationing and cleaning up the room, kind of disgusted by the state of it, the way that the innkeeper just almost welcomes the rats to scurry around the room. Well, the whole inn, actually, not just the room. And as you're looking for the one that scurried under the bed, you do not find the rat. However, what you do find is a large metal bottle. You can cast Identify. I'm assuming you would cast Identify after some time.
I will cast Identify on it. Yes.
Yeah, this is the night before you go to bed, so it is of no consequence. Don't worry. So you cast Identify, and you find that you are able to find out that this is a Tonic of Vitality. It slowly regenerates health over a period of some hours. It is seemingly permanent. You get the vibe that it lasts for quite some time, perhaps maybe even days. It causes, however, temporary vivid hallucinations. It is in a large metal bottle. It has 3 uses. When you open the large metal bottle and look inside, the potion has a white kind of creamy look to it, and it's giving off a consistent, constant heat to it. That heat kind of wafting up to you as you open that flask. The texture of the liquid is thin and watery, and as that warmth of that liquid wafts up to you, you get a whiff of fresh cake, strangely enough. Though from the Identify spell, you do know that this potion, while it smells like cake, it actually tastes like chicken. The label, the label upon this bottle is covered in something unspeakable, some unspeakable language that you have never seen.
That's what tongues was built for, but I will do that later.
That's fine. If you'd like to do that, you totally can. So, with that, you all had played... You all had been playing 200 questions, and remind me where Sage was, or what you had Sage do. And I believe you had Sage kind of following that cart. However, that cart does get to the edge of town, and they do leave out through that gate. So
yes, I was still having Sage following them, basically, so that we could potentially track them in the morning. I know Sage's direction,
but I cannot speak with her outside of the 100-foot range.
Okay, very good. So that is what is going on with Sage, and we will pick up where we left off with the group playing 200 questions. So as you're all playing 200 questions, I believe it comes back around to Mistral, and she looks over to a sleeping Suffolk who has once again fallen asleep, kind of just laid out in the chair, flask in hand, and empty now. And she kind of springs up from the bed, and looks at you all, and this is fun and all, but I'm kind of restless. Do you all want to maybe go to the tavern and get a nightcap or something? And she's like standing on the bed now, like kind of bouncing from side to side.
What, are you restless?
Very much so. I would like a drink, and I think his flask is all empty.
Are you feeling all right, Mistral?
Oh, well, as all right as one can feel in a town that they are not too fond of. And she kind of smiles widely at you.
Do you have history with this town?
Oh, perhaps, but that's not too important. We'll be out of here in the morning, right?
She kind of like looks over at Zarius and Terpsichore. Oh, that all depends on what we decide to do.
Yeah.
And if Shmo is back in the morning. But you really want to go to the Ratfield bar?
Oh, it's not so bad. It's better than...
It's filled with rats. It's pretty bad.
Well, the tavern is filled with rats, but I will have you know that the inn is filled with rats, but I will have you know that the tavern actually, the guy who runs that place does not take kindly to the rats. And it's not as bad as that dreary place in Caerdinaval. That place is the worst. The worst tavern.
You don't believe people will recognize you from your behavior?
From my behavior? She kind of flips her now long hair, and she kind of grins at you, like in a very roguish kind of grin.
More of, how long are you going to be able to keep yourself from strumming a harp?
Oh, I won't be doing that. I do know how to work a good disguise, as you can see.
If you want a good time, just take a sip of this, and I'll hand her the potion of vitality.
What? Is that what you found under the bed?
No. I pulled it from a dimensional pocket, and of course I found it under the bed.
Disgusting. I would never drink from that. You don't know who's perhaps taken a sip out of that, or what's even in there, or...
It smells like cake.
Right.
Yes. Would you prefer to drink something that has been under the bed of a rat-infested inn, or drink something at the tavern of a rat-infested inn? I don't know if there's very much distinction there, actually.
The tavern is not rat-infested. Last time I was here in town, the tavern is, well, the guy that runs the place hates rats, and they get killed on sight.
I'm sure the rats just had extra flavor.
If you're set on getting a drink from there, Mistral, I suppose I will accompany you.
Yeah, I mean, if you'd like, we could also maybe perhaps find out some interesting information. Information that you're not going to get in other towns.
Oh, like what?
Well, if I told you, that would defeat the purpose of going now, wouldn't it? But it seems I've piqued your interest, so shall we?
Am I going alone? She's like looking at the other two. Not Sephic, he's fucking asleep.
Do we want to leave Sefik here? I suppose. Let me set a ritual alarm at the very least.
That would be helpful, yes.
He'll be fine.
He's passed out in what you've described as a very dangerous town, inside an inn filled with rats. You'll have to excuse me if I have a bit more concern than you do.
Yes, the rats are the least of our worries.
Even more reason to put the alarm spell down. He'll begin ritual casting alarm.
Okay. So you ritual cast your alarm, and the 4 of you are able to set off to the tavern. Mistral takes Terpsichore's arm in hers, and you all set off to the tavern. She leads you down some alleyways and streets, kind of almost zigzagging as she walks there, which is quite curious, almost as if she's wanting to make her her movements like intentionally evasive. And as she does so, leading you all to the tavern, you find yourselves in front of an establishment. Does not look near as old as the Luskan Arms. This place looks to be much more well kept. It's got 3 flags in the front of it, kind of off of the top of the building, and each of them have a different ship upon it and a different color. They are each red, green, and blue. And she stops before opening the door to the tavern and turns to you all and, okay, well, here we are. This is the 3 flags sailing, and, the ale here was pretty good last time I came, and, we could perhaps, get some drinks, meet some people, you know, get some information or something, you know?
Alright then, I will say I'm not quite sure what information we should be seeking out here. I suspect that people will become angry with us if we pry too far into their business. Is that a safe assumption to make?
Oh, we won't even need to pry, Charlotte. All we need to do is listen in this place, and we're just passing through.
Alright, well, keep your ears open then, I suppose.
Oh yes, this is quite an interesting place. And with that, if no one else has anything to say,
No, it's Mr. Show.
she opens the door, and you guys see a very warm tavern. You see many tables filled with groups of people. You see what look to be a mix of fishermen and some folks who are dressed a little bit more. You see almost like as the ravens that you met before, dressed in their black and purples. You see groups at tables, kind of sharing drinks, eating food. Also, kind of you notice that they wear dark colors, but they have like some have insignias on them, and you kind of get the vibe that there's a lot of different crews kind of gathered here in this place. And you head in and you see a plump gray-haired woman who is a human, and she is behind the counter, and she seems like a very warm like warm person, and she's almost kind of fussing over one of the gentlemen at the counter, sitting up at the counter there. You see her kind of like lick her finger and start to rub something off of his cheek, and he's trying to pull away, but she's got quite a good grip on him. And this is what you see as you walk in. There's some music playing, and there's a small, quaint stage.
Interesting. Bartender is a motherly figure. That is maybe it's strange, maybe it's not for a town like this.
Either way, they appear to have some sort of relationship. I wonder if she's actually his mother.
Mistral, like, very under her breath, kind of whispers to the group, okay, that's Ethan Yarble. She's known as Ma, and she takes care of the folks that come and grow through here, and kind of treats everyone as her children. She looks after the folks of this town quite a bit. And when she whispers this to you, she's like not even looking at you. She's just like looking off, and she kind of smiles, and it's strange. She's like speaking to you, but it doesn't look like she's speaking.
Oh. Okay.
It's an
You
awful
like
lot.
she... Oh, no, go on. Because it looks... No, go on.
It's an awful lot of secrecy for someone who doesn't know the town very well.
Well, shall we get something to drink?
You can have something, I'm fine.
All right. She goes up to the counter, and she kind of motions over to a table. If you would like to if you guys can let me know what you're doing as you step into this tavern. There are a couple of empty tables, so if you'd like to take one up. There's one table by a group of folks which seem to be much more quiet. They're kind of talking amongst themselves. And there's a table next to another group which is a bit more rowdy.
Which one do we think will give us more information? Quiet or the loud?
I wonder if, well, it could be that the loud ones, have looser lips. They could be drunk. But, I don't exactly feel like being involved in a bar fight.
Seems like a bad idea. Agreed. To the quiet table it is then.
Alright.
I'll head over there.
All right, you guys head on over to the quiet table. Now,
Were either
ahead.
of you getting a drink, by the way? I feel a little odd, not ordering something. It does feel a bit out of place.
Is Mistral not ordering things for the rest of us?
yeah,
Is she?
she would most definitely be. You saw before she left. You saw her kind of count with her fingers as she pointed it at each of you, and she was just like, okay, I need like. You know, with her intelligence, her big intelligent brain, you know that every time she's anytime she's gotten food or drinks for people, she counts a couple of times, and she's just like, okay, 1, 2, and then she's like has it on her fingers, and she's just like, and she'll be repeating it to herself, and she just walks over to the place basically.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
She's
right.
got a handle, then I will take a seat.
Yeah, so you guys take a seat. Now, if you would like to go ahead and roll me a perception check, please.
Indeed. Happy to
Do my
so.
D&D Beyond dice. Because I don't have my dice tray.
D&D
I got a
Beyond.
24.
A 24.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep closing my
That's okay.
sheet for some reason. Ooh, that's a 9.
Oof.
My God.
All right. So, as you guys go to sit down at the table, Terpsichore sees the small quaint stage, and she goes to grace the stage with her presence. And with that, she goes to dance upon the stage as the there's kind of a little bit of a little troupe there playing some music. Not just a single bard, but a little troupe of about 4 people there playing some pretty decent music. Not the best you've heard, but it's pretty good. It's got a catchy tune to it, but not catchy enough to get stuck in your head and annoy you all day. And with those perception checks, John, or Zarius, I'm so sorry. Zarius, you kind of look around, and I would say, or let me know if it is safe to say, that Zarius is probably a bit uncomfortable in the current place.
Sure, yeah, he's
Like-
trying to listen, but I'm sure he's more concerned with where those shards are going than whatever's going on here.
Yeah, he's got a lot on his mind, and maybe he's trying to even just like hone in and like, okay, which direction is Sage, and kind of keeping tabs of which direction she's going off to. And so therefore you're more focused on that and not able to pick up on one thing. However, you do pick up on you do pick up on, go ahead and roll me a 1d10.
That is a 7.
You do pick up some words from a nearby table. You hear good mead. You hear 9-foot tall giant and stolen shipment of honeymead. So you hear that, and that's what you're able to pick up on. Charlotte, go ahead and roll me 2 d10s.
Okay. I don't know how to just do a normal roll, so I
it's
just
okay.
did I got a 7 and a 1.
A 7 and a 1. All right. So with a 7 and a 1, you are able to hear you hear people talking about Bremen, the town that which you just left. You hear them talking about how the fishers were being terrorized, and that there was a monster there, and Mayor Dalden, and you feel like people talking about like it was so strange that just Bremen was the town that was being kind of harangued by the monster. And then you hear another fellow at the table pipe up and say, well, they get what they deserve, and you can kind of feel his disdain for the town of Bremen. As they continue talking, another gentleman kind of pipes up and says, well, I heard that the lake monster can actually talk, and everyone starts laughing at him, and one guy kind of smacks him on the back of the head, and he's just like, you're foolish to think that a lake monster can talk. That's the craziest thing I've heard. And he's just like, what are you, a child? Like, so that's kind of one conversation you overhear at one table.
Charlotte like can't help but laugh and like cover her mouth kind of.
Mm-hmm. And a 7, you said? Did you say a 1 and a 7? I'm so sorry.
I think I got a 7 and a 1. Yep.
Okay, go ahead and, okay, so you also hear, John, you also rolled a 7, right?
I did. My 9-foot giant and the honey and good mead.
So, yeah, so Charlotte, you hear very clearly this conversation. You hear that
in good mead, the town speaker had been recently killed by a 9-foot-tall giant, and they continue on saying that the rumor has it that the giant stole a shipment of honey mead, without which a handful of taverns in 10 towns could go dry, and the group at this table are talking about possibly going off to find this giant, and they have intention to steal back the shipment and kind of hold it ransom and try to like sell it at a high price, because they're like, well, the laws of supply and demand, if 10 towns is going to go dry, if the taverns will go dry, like people won't want that. And so they're kind of talking about like, oh, this could be a big break for us. We could make quite the pretty penny on procuring this large shipment of honey mead.
And is that like the super drunk group, or which group is that that's talking about this?
Oh, there's more than those two. These are just at some other tables that are nearby you. There's those were just the two like more noticeable tables as you're looking around. I would say there's about like 15 to 20 tables in here, and you've got.
What do the people at that table look like? Do they look like actual adventurers or like mercenary types?
These guys are they're very hushed. They're kind of very like hushed. They're kind of like all kind of shoulders in, and they're kind of discussing things almost in a whisper. Zarius was able to kind of pick out a couple of the words which they were whispering, but as you're kind of very kind of laser focused, honed in on what are the happenings in this place, you are able to pick up very clearly all of the details of that whispered conversation. I'm going to have you roll one more d10.
Okay. And do those people look like they could actually handle this giant job, or do they look like civilians? Like, do they look just like normal peeps?
Are you gonna?
I got a 6.
Are you gonna go ahead and like look at them? I'm
just like looking at their clothes and like.
You're like taking.
Do they look like they have scars or anything?
You're like taking a good look at them, basically.
I'm just gonna glance over.
Okay.
Like see what I get. Just like a passing glance, like looking at their clothes and stuff.
With a quick glance. You said a quick glance, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. With a quick glance, I can't talk tonight, I'm so sorry. With a quick glance, you go ahead and roll me insight with disadvantage.
Insight, okay. Okay, first roll. Oh shit, first roll was a 2, so that's an 8. I don't think I could get much worse. Oh, second roll is a 24, that's so sad.
Okay.
So I got an 8.
An 8, okay. So as you glance over, you see one of them, kind of their eyes meet yours, and you quickly look back to your table and your business. When that guy, his eyes met yours, if you had a spine, you would have felt a chill run down it, or up it, whichever way it runs. So that was the kind of vibe you got from them.
Like shady.
Yeah, you got shady vibes from them. He kind of did not give you a pleasant look when his eyes met yours for the moment that they did. And with a 6, you hear another table talking about East Haven, speaking about an evil wizard who had killed some adventurers. And there's talking about that the town militia plans to burn the wizard at the stake on the next full moon as sacrifice to Auril. One of the guys saying that he overheard the captain of the guard is looking for adventurers to help with another task which may or may not be related. They are talking about kind of debating like, oh, a wizard, like if this wizard is really powerful, perhaps if we're able to jailbreak him, then maybe this guy could reward us in one way. Wizards are able to do, many kind of mysterious and, wondrous magics. So they are like debating, kind of the group is kind of debating, do they want to try to jailbreak this wizard who they heard, like word on the street is that this wizard has some very strange exceptional magics which have not been heard of before. One of the guys in the group, he seems he's talking as though he is like an expert on magic. Like, you kind of get the vibe that he's not a caster himself, but he's talking very much like a know-it-all, like, oh yeah, I've heard about wizards. I know a lot about wizards, and I've never heard of a wizard being able to do the kind of things that this guy is able to do. And
Does he mention like any sort of the things that the wizard did? Like what these like unbelievable things are?
he does. He does indeed. Give me just one moment, and I can get you those questions. Let me see. Let me get you that. As he's talking and kind of explaining the whatchamacallit, as he's kind of explaining what this wizard was able to do, he was saying that, yeah, I heard that this guy was able to consume and repurpose magic around him, and I've never heard of a wizard being able to do that. And he was saying that, like, you know, wizards they're taught, and sorcerers they're born, but this guy, he maybe we shouldn't call him a wizard at all. Maybe they should call him a Siphoner, because he's consuming the magic and repurposing it and using it in ways that I've never heard of other creatures or beings being able to utilize magic. It's almost as if this man is using his body as a conduit for magical energy. And as he's kind of going into this, one of the other people at the table, they kind of start just bursting out laughing, and they're just like, do you hear yourself? Like, you sound crazy. Like, you sound crazy. Like, you know, I've heard of tall tales, but that sounds just outright mad. And he says, well, that's what I heard. And so they kind of go back to their debate on, do they want to jailbreak this guy, or do they want to maybe see what job East Haven has for offer that may or may not be related to this guy.
Hey, it's quite a bit of information. I don't know if there's a safe way to share all of this, though.
I do have one more thing with you, Mrs. High Roller.
Wow.
As you
All
are...
the info.
No.
Yum.
As you are watching, listening, kind of, you know, tuning in to the Three Flags Sailing Station here, as you're glancing around, your eyes meet with a very familiar individual. Oh, wow. Thank you for the follow. Ace Lowell, the Boulevard. Appreciate that. So yeah, as your eyes are kind of scanning the tavern, your eyes meet with a very familiar individual. And with that, you and a blue-eyed satyr are now staring at each other from across the room.
Oh my god.
He had
Charlotte?
he had been finishing a joke, and you get the butt end of it. He was like saying, "Oh, and that's not a cactus. That's my paw." And he's like banging his fist against the table, and he like looks at Charlotte, and he's like, "Oh."
And you guys make eye contact, and what you see, Charlotte, is you also see Schmo is at this quite large table with 6 other folks. You see a red dragonborn. You see a dwarf, looks to be a hill dwarf. You see a wood elf, a lizard folk, a halfling, and a human.
Wow.
all at a table with them, and they are drinking, laughing it up, having a good time. As per usual, when Schmo is telling this joke, some fart noises go off, and they kind of get a double laughter at this. They laugh not only at the joke, but they also laugh at these strange flatulence noises coming from
He's
him.
incorporated it into his routine. Good for him.
Yeah,
him.
and the dwarf kind of just slaps Schmo on the back as the fart noise comes out, and you hear this kind of gruff voice come from them as they, I still haven't figured out how you've managed to tell the joke and make these noises all at once, but it's quite curious, and is it like a failsafe? If the joke isn't good, people are gonna laugh anyways.
A bit of that, but who knows if I'm making both of those sounds with my mouth, am I right?
And they just burst out laughing with that. They burst out laughing, and they like they chug their drink, and they slam their drink down on the table, and they just start laughing again, like almost to the point that they're crying. They have tears in their eyes just from laughing so hard. They like bathroom humor a lot.
Everyone farts.
Yeah, and they think that's hilarious. So, yeah, you see this, Charlotte. I imagine you guys share a very nervous glance across the room, like, what the fuck are you doing here? What the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah, literally like the Spider-Man pointing.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, Charlotte is initially like, as soon as you make eye contact with her, she does like the thing where, like, it's between girls, and she does like the signal where she like looks at you, like bugs her eyes out and looks at the exit like, do you need help? And then it sees that you like make a joke, and she's like, oh my god.
This is awful. He starts trying to motion you over.
She like, why did her like, me?
Yeah, he does over-exaggerated motions. Like, the table could probably tell at this point that he's like pointing at Charlotte and like making over-exaggerated gestures for her to come over.
Okay, so you're doing that? You're doing big motions
Yeah,
at
he's
her.
like standing up. He's like moving both of his arms like come on.
And as you're doing that, also, how many drinks do you think you've had at this point, Schmo?
Oh, a lot. I'm sure he's blitzed.
She's
Go
fucking
ahead.
sauce.
Go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
From fear
Okay.
to anger, a Charlotte cleric story.
Not anger, just exasperation,
save?
just
Con?
exhaustion.
Yes, a
That's
Constitution
more apt
saving throw,
for
yeah.
a cleric.
Okay.
I don't feel anger anymore. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Oh, no.
That is a 8.
Okay, yeah, you've had a lot of drinks, but you're good. You are good. The people at this table, some of them seem tipsy, sloshed. Some of them also seem good, but you are most definitely, you're like 10 beers deep, and you are good to go. You're ready for more, and you are just, standing up, and you're motioning for Charlotte to come over. Charlotte, what would you like to do with this?
If you will excuse me. And then as she's like slipping past, she like kind of whispers to the two at the table. That explains why I couldn't find him. Schmo is here. Has like a smile on her face, and then just walks across the room to Schmo. Hello.
So
Hey, Charlotte.
How are you doing? You seem to be getting on well. And she like looks over at the group.
And
I'm having a great time.
the group they just watch. Like, as you walk over, like, as you start motioning to someone, they all, like, all the group that's at the table with you, Schmo, they all turn to you and look at you, and then they look where you're motioning to. And you have, all of them staring at you, Charlotte. All
Yeah, I'm sure.
6 eyes.
I
all
do not.
6.
I look like I belong in the Weenie Hut Juniors, and we're at Salty Spittoon currently.
Exactly. That is exactly what is going on here. You have 6 pairs of eyes locked on you, watching you as you. Zarius was the only one left at the table. Terpsy was dancing. Mistral was getting food.
You're right.
Yeah, Mistral was getting food. So you kind of whisper to Zarius, and they watch all of this. And they watch you come over, and as you come over, they there's just a silence among the group as they're just like waiting. They're just staring intensely at you though.
Fellas, this is Charlotte. Charlotte, do the thing with the tea in your mouth.
Does anyone have a cup? An empty one.
The dwarf hands you their now empty tankard.
All right, I will see what I can do.
I don't much like tea, but I'd like to see a trick.
Well, you don't have to drink it. She's going to hold on. I gotta roll a 27-sided die. Roll 127. 14. What's a 14 on my tea table? This is matcha tea. So she like pretends like she's warming up. She could really do this at any time, but seeing as like Shimo has apparently hyped her up, she like gets into a stance and like puts her mouth over the tankard, I assume he handed her,
Yeah, they handed you like a tankard, and they're just like they're staring like intently at you. Yeah.
She takes like a deep inhale, and like some steam comes out of her ears when she like does her little into the cup. And out comes some matcha tea.
All right. The dwarven they them takes the tankard back and looks inside and well, waste not, want not.
Oh my god.
And they push it onto the halfling standing next to them.
I thought they were just gonna drink it straight up.
No,
like, damn,
no,
nasty.
He's like, waste not, want not, and he hands it to the halfling and pats the halfling like heartily on the back. The halfling almost falling over. Go on then, lad, drink up. Who wouldn't want it to go to waste with this nice lady just made for you, huh?
Arlotta's like smiling with her hands folded. Blink, blink. Like
the halfling looks up at you very sheeply, and they quickly just drink it down and look up. They look up at you with a big smile, and kind of like wide eyes. They're like, "Wow, that was that was quite nice. It's nice and warm, and really warms you up inside."
Right, probably much more so than what you're drinking.
Well,
I told you it's not a trick. It's just something I can do.
That's this halfling looks up at you, Shmo, and you know, some interesting. She's quite an interesting lady.
Oh yeah, she is. She's like my partner in crime. Like she can punch people pretty good too.
Oh, Shmo.
She's like, oh shit.
Oh, shit. They know I fight.
The halfling approaches you, Charlotte, and raises up their small hand to you, and I'm Telford, the mumbler, and they have one hand kind of held out to you, and they kind of scratching behind their head with the other hand.
Oh, very nice to meet you.
If I were more of a dick character, I would have been like, oh, can you speak up? But Charlotte's nice, so.
Are you since you're Schmo's partner in crime, are you you're looking to join the crew as well?
Am I looking to what?
Join the crew, or are you to go in your separate ways, or and the Telford kind of looks between you, Schmo, and looks between Charlotte, and he has a very confused look on his face.
She looks at him like, what?
Oh, yeah. About
What
that.
do you mean?
Well, boss set us out to, have drink, and Schmo here was, looking for work or looking for a crew. We thought, I thought that maybe perhaps since he was looking for, a crew to join, then maybe this fellow was on his own, but, I'm quite surprised now, after meeting you, that, he'd want to join, our group here. And the halfling kind of motions to the other folks at the table, the dragonborn, who's as he's motioning to the group, this is what you see. You see the dragonborn kind of throwing their head back and belching, and as they do that, a little bit of fire comes out of the red dragonborn, and the wood elf kind of nods, and I'm so sorry. This is a human, not a halfling. Fuck. I'm so sorry. Shit. This is a
No,
human.
he's not small. Oh,
No, he's not.
Small solidarity destroyed.
So sorry. Yeah, this was a human. Telford the Mumbler is a human. I'm so sorry. He motions to a halfling who is sitting at the table and kind of waves to you with like their fingers kind of waggling as they do so. Yeah, this is the crew, and that's Raldrin. It points to the red dragonborn, and this is Gruoda Smeltank, pointing to the dwarf, and that's Eldrin Dara over there, the pointing to the elf, and that there's Urzu, pointing to the lizard folk there, and that's Fastolf Hogpen, pointing to the halfling, and this is our crew. Though I'm quite confused now, after having such a fine lady like yourself, who is Schmo's partner in crime, it would seem.
Yes, I.
She kind of looks confused over at Schmo.
Do you mind if I steal him for just a second?
Oh, for sure. He's not taken the oath to join yet, so.
Oh, wonderful.
And she like kind of pulls Schmo by the arm.
I thought you were gonna say by the ear.
No, this is funnier. I'll pull him by the ear, by the long floppy ear. Back to like the table with her and Zarius, and kind of like sits him down.
Not my
Schmo,
ear.
what is going on? Okay, first of all, I thought you were in the bathhouse. I went looking
was.
for you very embarrassingly and did not find you.
I was in the bathhouse. That's where I met them.
You met them. All right, well, I suppose that makes sense. I had a very unpleasant encounter in there looking for you. Several, actually.
What do you
So
mean?
it's good to know that you are, well, I'm not meant to be in a men's bathhouse.
Oh, I see. I see. Sorry about that. How
It's
is that my
alright,
fault, though?
It's not really your fault. I was hoping to find you there, and I didn't. I thought you were doing other things, which is fine. But I would prefer if you were more careful in a town like this. What is this they're saying about joining another group?
Oh, I was gonna try and find y'all to ask about it. At first, I was just kind of, I was trying to find answers. He like kind of like leans forward and he's like being a little quieter and less loud. I was trying to figure out some information on that charlatan, possibly from other groups, but I ended up with them, and well, I didn't get much information out of that, but I'd asked if I could think about joining, as to get more information, but it didn't go far. We went ahead and we got drinks.
He
We'll
takes
see
a
how
deep
that's turning out.
breath.
Okay, so you're not actually thinking about leaving us.
I would never leave y'all.
That's what I thought, but I don't know anymore.
He puffs up his cheeks.
I'm sorry. I suppose I got a bit worried. They seem to appreciate your jokes more than, well, I appreciate your jokes, but I can only laugh so loud.
It's not about that, but I mean, I appreciate it.
Yes. Well, do you need rescuing?
Well, kinda, but you know, that's kind of what's going on.
I see. Have you gotten any? Well, maybe here isn't the best place to discuss it in detail. Have you gotten any useful information tonight?
Out of character, I'm pretty sure I got no useful information.
Yeah, so they had mentioned a couple you had heard them mention a couple times, particularly Sazian had mentioned the word discretion to you multiple times. And while these guys have been sharing different stories and situations with you that have been of no consequence, you've really not gotten much of anything interesting out of them. No leads or, more of their, just like a slew of different random stories.
Oh, so they've been like more guarded because he's like talking about discretion. He doesn't want to like bring shit up in front of Shmo.
Yeah, they said like that they are very big on discretion, and the work they do is they don't ask, don't tell. They are very big on discretion within their line of work, and so while they've shared some things with you, they've been information details that would be of no consequence or no help, unfortunately, to you in regards to Chardolin. And when you did ask about the Chardolin, Sazian kind of sharpened his gaze at you and was just like, you kind of got the vibe that that if you had further continued asking about that, it would not have been good. Like, he would have, you wouldn't have had the warm welcome of, yeah, if you're interested to join our crew, go have some drinks with the guys and we'll meet in the morning. You feel like that. Had you continued probing him about the Chardolin, that's not how that conversation would have gone. It probably would have been something else. Like, I think we're done here and, we wish you the best. And everyone would have taken their leave of you, basically.
Yeah, he's basically gonna retell that back, in a hushed tone to Charlotte and, Zarius, if he's around and he can hear it.
Yeah, she brought Shmo back to Zarius's table.
Yeah, they were very keen on being discreet. And when I had mentioned Charlatan, the leader.
Chardolin.
Charlatan
is a background. I'm so sorry.
Charlatan. I know. I was thinking I might have gotten that mixed up, but they didn't seem so keen on me asking about it. But I didn't press on. And they had just offered I'd go with the boys to the tavern and get some drinks, and in the morning I'd probably have my decision then if I want to join them or not. But I was hoping I'd find y'all before then.
Oh, I see.
It is very strange that they know what it is.
It is, especially that sort of reaction. I don't know though if is that common knowledge in 10 towns?
DM, is it common knowledge?
Is what common knowledge?
Like, knowledge of what Chardolin is, and like...
No.
It's not?
No.
Okay.
Zarius knows about Chardolin because he's done research on it. The same goes for Sefik. You also, if you remember, Mr. Swift said that there was one blacksmith in one town, the town of Brinshander. There's one blacksmith that knows how to work with it, and that he would basically set up communications there. Like, so you got the vibe that if you didn't have that connection of Mr. Swift, and you went to Brinshander and did so happen to find that blacksmith who can work with Chardelin, you get the vibe that if you just showed up and was like, "Hi, I'm Charlotte. I'd like you to make me something out of this material," that they'd probably be like, "I don't know what that is," and turn you away. But however, you got the vibe that because Mr. Swift knows this individual, that he has sent word of your group and that you guys are trustworthy and such. So, yeah, that is what you know about Chardelin. It is not something there's rumors here and there, but being truly knowledgeable on it is not something that most people are. Like, people, like, there's stories. People, like, the general population is like, they've heard stories. There's a tower. There's a, it's like one of th's things where it's like, if it's a myth or something. Or is it? Who knows? Like, it's one of those things. And then they're like, well, none of that exists. No one's seen any of that stuff around, so if you've never seen it, how could it be real? And, there's a lot of, yeah. Hopefully that helps.
It does. Absolutely. The fact that they knew so casually about it. Wonder how many people in this town know such things. Why is this town so much more knowledgeable than the rest? Is, during all this, if I can just look over the bar, is Mistral doing alright?
Yeah, she's doing fine. You see her, like, she places an order with, Ma, and, you see her, kind of mingling with some of the other patrons there at the counter. The people that are up at the counter, they're there on their own. They're like table for one or seat for one, basically, is kind of the situation. You get into it. They're on their own. They work alone is kind of the vibe you get from these folks. But you see her kind of trying to warm up.
Is this, am I getting the yeah, I work alone, or is this more of a I work alone vibe?
Yeah, from some of them. So she's most definitely like, she's in full disguise, okay? She's in full disguise. She looks like a very beautiful half-elf. She's got an olive complexion. She's got long dark hair and bright green eyes, and she looks very beautiful, and she is most definitely using her female wiles, or whatever the fuck they call that shit. She's basically like
feminine wiles.
Yeah, she's using her feminine wiles, as you can clearly see. Like, Zarius, like, I imagine as Charlotte left you alone, you were like, glance over at Charlotte, is she good? Glance over at Mistral. Okay, cool. Terpsichore's still dancing. Like, I imagine you were just like keeping tabs between the three, like
ping pong ball between
this poor guy.
There's just too many. Yeah, there's like not enough dark corners in this tavern for all the shady people to hide in, so like only the shadiest like
right. Yeah, so I imagine
had to build more corners.
Yeah, so I imagine that's kind of, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you were not doing that, also let me know, but I imagine that's what Zarius was kind of.
No, yeah, he's keeping an eye on everything, and also keeping an eye on their belongings as well.
Yeah.
Sure.
Every time you glance over to Mistral, she's like talking to a new person. She's kind of leaning up against them.
She's using beauty as a tool, basically.
Totally. You see some of the guys totally just brush her off, giving the vibe of I work alone. And some of the others that she goes to speak with, they entertain her for a while, and
even Targo says edgelords.
Yeah, totally. And
Yeah, man, they're everywhere.
Yeah, and
I mean,
the counter here is very wide, and there's quite a few people there, and you just see her kind of working her way down the fucking line, and
yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
yeah, and as you kind of look over, she's had a couple drinks while up there, and you see her starting to come your way. She's coming your way with a tray now at this point, and the tray's got a couple of different bowls on it and tankards. She returns back to the table and sets the tray down on the table and... All right, so I was able to get this for us, and I hope you all enjoy. And she, like, casually just, like, sits back into the chair, and she starts picking it. She picks up a bowl, and she starts eating and drinking from it. And some of the patrons up at the counter, they kind of glance over and kind of watch to see where she was going, and you see her kind of throw out some winks, and she blows a kiss, and yeah, so she's there now. She's not saying much, but she's just like sitting there kind of, you hear a little giggle come out here and there. She's just eating and drinking her food. She looks pleased with herself.
I am so very disturbed by that behavior, but did it result in anything?
She looks at you and winks with a full mouth as she's chewing her food.
Thank you for the drink. It's all serious.
Ooh, serious. So yeah, she's just sitting there eating, drinking, and she's watching Terpsy perform, and the three of you are now at the table together. Schmo is here, and she kind of nods at you, Schmo, and
Yeah, I was gonna say, is she like, oh, oh shit.
The funny, she just nods at him. She's just like, she's like, in not bothered, like she's just like, oh cool, like yeah, of course we found him at the tavern, and she's just kind of like, okay, cool. And then she looks at the tray because she got she got something for Charlotte, Zarius, Terpsichore, and herself, and she looks at the tray nervously.
Charlotte immediately passes her shit over to Shmom.
Yeah, and then like you see like a look of panic and then a relief when you pass your shit over to Shmo.
Yes,
she's like,
as is custom.
She's
Yeah,
like,
Shmo waves
yeah.
and then chugs it.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, you three are together at the table, and yeah.
Now it's 4, because when Terpsy sees the food and drink, she heads back over.
Awesome. And now there were 4. So, or 5 actually. I can't count. Neither can Mistral. So yeah, as you come back to the table, she hands you your bowl and your drink, and oh, that was the most wonderful dancing. Did you manage to... Hopefully you managed to make some coin. I mean, folks around here have got plenty to spare. And she kind of grins at you.
Well, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh no, did you not set out a tip jar or a hat or something?
No, I saw they were playing music, so I was like, oh, Michelle's going to get food. I'm gonna dance while we wait. I saw Shmo talking to people, and I just went up to my thing.
Oh well, it's all right. We've got some food and some drink. So long as you enjoyed yourself.
It was a bit enjoyable. I could have done better, but it was a bit enjoyable.
Oh, we'll blame that on the band.
She just shrugs and starts eating.
She's like, it's not you, it's the music. The music sucks.
This band sucks. It's hard to dance to.
Yeah.
Son.
All right, so you all are back together. The gang is back together. And what would you guys like to do? You've all got food and drink, and yeah, it's pretty late.
Yeah.
I'll say it's probably midnight by now.
I did hear some things, but I don't know if inside here is the best place to discuss them.
Definitely not, in my opinion. If
Yes,
you
I
could
would
hear
agree.
things, then, well, others can hear us. It is safe to assume.
Yes, I would agree.
Mistral laughs. Like she takes a drink of her drink. She bursts out laughing and she like puts an arm around you, Zarius, and she like whispers to you. She's like, "That's exactly right." And then she's like, "Oh, Zarius, you are so funny."
He is going to take her arm off of his shoulders, and he's going to whisper back, I don't wish to get murdered by an entire bar of men you've just, engaged.
She like teasingly goes to ruffle your hair. You see her hand coming towards your head.
Zarius, there's no other portion other than his, like, upper body that moves, and he's just moving away from the hand.
Go ahead and roll me a.
This is sibling behavior.
Go ahead and roll me a. Would that be dexterity? Sleight of hand? Dexterity check. We'll say dexterity check. Or not.
Oh
yeah.
boy, dexterity. So good at that.
Yeah, I bet you're also proficient with sleight of hand.
Actually, 16 total. Or sorry,
Yeah.
no. 16 on the dice, 17 total.
Okay. Let me have her roll as well.
I am definitely proficient with sleight of hand. Definitely a
sure.
skill a wizard uses.
Absolutely.
Gotta be able to turn those pages snappily, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, hey, wizard scrolls are expensive.
Oh yeah. So you go to move away and she misses. You see her hand kind of go where your head was once, and you see her hand and finger kind of go, and she looks over and, oh, well, that's no fun.
Oh, you want to have fun? All right. He's going to cast Prestidigitation and make her drink taste like chicken.
Ew.
Oh gosh. She goes to take a sip of her drink and she like spits a little bit of it out and oh. Yeah. I think I got a bad batch or something. Does anyone else's drink taste strangely like chicken?
Your drink tastes like chicken? Give me that. Hit that over here. Give me that.
Ah, it's terrible. She quickly hands it over to you.
He chugs it.
Ew.
Terpsy slides Mistral her drink. Mine tasted fine. You can have the rest of it.
Oh, you are such a dear. And she takes the drink and she starts drinking it. She's had quite a few drinks. She kind of leans over and puts her arm around you if you'll let her, Terpsichore.
Yeah.
Yeah, she leans over. She puts her arm around you, and she's just drinking it. And she's like, she's going on and on about how good your dancing was. She's like, oh, it was so good. You know, every time I watch you dance, it's like you get better and better. It's quite impressive. I've never seen anyone move by like you. It's inspiring. You know, I am working on my next hit, and I would be lying if I said it wasn't inspired by the one and only best dancer in all the realm. And she's just like going on and on and on along that line, basically.
Schmo finishes his chicken beer and he like licks his lips.
Gross.
And he's like, slash chicken noodle soup without the noodle. So,
soup.
yes.
God.
So, assuming I should, tell the fellas I'm not interested.
Not interested in... We don't know what the job is, yes?
Well, no, it's just to join the group, that's it.
You were gonna join another group?
For information. Wasn't gonna be permanent. Golly.
Mistral gives you a look of surprise, but then as you say for information, she kind of nods like, okay, yeah, you know.
Well, if they haven't given you any useful information so far, I don't know. Do you think that there's anything to be gained by speaking with them longer, or you
I
could
don't
always
know.
just say you changed your mind in the morning?
I don't know. Probably. I guess I'll just tell him that, I haven't quite made up my mind, and hopefully I can see him around some other time, and we could get some drinks again, and maybe then I'll change my mind. I guess.
All right, if that's what you'd like to do.
Tell them you're contracted with us for at least a few more days.
Contracted?
Yes, makes you seem like a third party, a free agent. Perhaps they'll be willing to trust you more if they don't think you are permanently attached to us.
Yeah, that is smart. But that's like opening Pandora's box. Who knows what comes from that?
Lies are more difficult to sell and remember than the truth. Up to you if you don't feel like it. Just a suggestion.
Yeah. I'll tell them that. That sound good?
It's the only thing I can think of.
Alright, just be careful. They don't seem like the type that would be outraged by rejection, do they?
I don't suppose so.
Well, I would hope not. Just be careful. If you need backup, let me know.
Alright. He's gonna go ahead and walk back over to the boys.
You
Boys.
walk
The
back
boys.
over to this group, and as you approach, they'll get a bit silent as you approach, and whatchamacallit, they get a bit silent as you approach, and the dwarf looks over at you, and so will the nice lady should be joining us too? You did say you were partners in crime. Will she be coming along?
Well, I went ahead and I talked about that. When I meant partners in crime, it was more just a fun, fancy way of saying we work together and we're fairly similar. But, seems like, my contract with that group is gonna go on for a bit longer than I anticipated.
You hear, like, a group of, like, oh, like, they seem bummed. And
Lying to these nice criminals.
My friends.
well, we'll let Sazian know in the morning, and perhaps we'll run into you another day, at another time.
I hope so.
So you only take short contracts or something? Sounded like you were ready to take the oath.
Well, it all depends on, you know, the people and how well I work with them or, you know, get along with them.
I see. You know, I get it. Perhaps, probably, you're lonely from working on your own, contract to contract, and you were looking for something stable, something of a family. Is that what you were looking for?
Well, I'd hope that's something everybody's looking for, right? But you're pretty on the dot there, but, you know, it's gonna take a couple more days, and, you know, hopefully we'll meet up again. I mean, that bathhouse was pretty nice.
Oh, yes, the best bathhouse in 10 towns. Well, we wish you the best, and we'll let Sazian know.
He gives them, like, a firm nod and a wave. It was fun, though.
We'll miss your jokes.
Tell people the jokes that I told you, then I'll always be in your heart. Oh. Sorry, pass gas.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
He does it every time, that one. And the dwarf kind of looks back to the rest of the group. The rest of the group is like laughing. They're just all laughing. Like the halfling falls out of their chair, laughing so hard they fall on the ground. And the dwarf like pats you on the back of your thigh, just like very hardly. It kind of stings.
Oh.
We'll be seeing ya.
He just gives them a big grin and waves, and then he goes ahead and walks back over to the party.
All right.
That was sad.
What was sad?
They're pretty nice fellas.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not surprised that you could charm a group like that.
Well, they were pretty similar to me.
Which is surprising, given your background, yes? We can talk about that later.
Yeah, we can open that can of beans another time.
Can of beans? She like
Yeah,
nods.
Yeah, beans.
I see.
It's usually can of worms, but I think beans sounds funnier.
I think you're right. Well, all right. Okay, we will leave that can of beans for a more appropriate time. Did you want to say something, Terpsy?
Yeah, why does it matter if it's funny? It's a can of worms. Why do you need to make that funny?
Cause I like making things funny. Don't you like smiling, Terpsichore?
Well, I always smile. How
Well, there's
often
always
have
room for
you
more
seen me
smiles.
frown?
What was that?
How often have you seen me frown?
I mean, a couple of days ago you were frowning because you were mad. But that's
Let's
about
talk
it.
about that.
Well,
Yes,
I'm not talking about it.
that's
You mentioned
all-
it. You opened the conversation.
All in the past. You opened the can of beans. Yes, it's all in the past.
No, we're closing the can.
Close it, yes. As well as you can close the can.
We're Ziploc bagging it.
That's a
That
Ziploc
must be-
bag.
That must be something from your realm.
Oh yeah, they're very handy. Very good.
She nods. Blank stare. Well, if we're done here, are we like done with our drinks and stuff?
Yeah, you guys are easily able to
Right.
finish up your food and drinks. The
Uh-huh.
food was nothing to write home about. The flavors were just like a mishmash of a lot of things. It was very homey, very, very like gave you the vibes of like a home cooked meal. The flavors were kind of all over the place. It was like just like a bowl of a lot of stuff thrown together.
Stew.
What was that?
Oh, a stew.
Yeah, kind of like a stew. Yeah, and yeah, the ale was pretty good. Yeah. So with that, if you guys have nothing left to do at this tavern, you're free to do what you would like. It's about like 12:30ish now. Nighttime. Early morning.
I would like to not get exhaustion.
Yeah, that's
I
understandable.
would like to go back to the room and discuss what we heard.
All right, you guys make your way back to the Luskan Arms. As you come inside the Luskan Arms, it is very quiet by this time. There's only like a single person in the common room out by the fire, and the innkeeper gives you a wave, kind of waggling his fingers as you all come in, and you're able to make it back to your room. Sefik is still passed out on the chair.
Oh, poor Sefik. How's our bed situation looking?
There are two beds in that room. And Sefik also did have a room as well, which also had two beds. He is sleeping in the chair. He's got like his hand over his face, and his other hand still is holding the flask. Actually, the flask is not being held anymore. The flask is now on the floor, and it is empty. As you walk in, there's like a rat that's trying to drink out of it.
You little shit.
God.
Can Schmo try to
no.
stomp on the rat?
If you would like to.
Fuck yeah, I'm stomping on the rat. Sorry.
Go ahead and roll me a dexterity check.
Rat
I'm
stomp!
afraid for what the innkeeper's gonna do.
Oh, did
That
that...
is a... I got a
Sorry.
17.
I don't know why it rolled me rolling you as Schmo. Okay.
Oh.
You go to stomp. It's Foundry if I click on someone, I guess. You go to stomp on the rat that has its little hands around the flask, where you put your mouth, and its little head is kind of inside of the flask, and you go to stomp on this rat, and your hoof does come down upon this rat, smushing it, killing the
Oh
rat.
shit. Oh,
You
got it.
now have a splattered rat on your in-floor.
Shmo.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
Shmo, that's disgusting.
What? You'd rather have an alive one in here?
I think that there's too many to deal with.
And she picks up the flask off the ground and like holds it out to Zarius.
Darius, does prestidigitation, disinfect things? I think that
It cleans it, which I suppose is yes.
The
and I
flask
will,
is gross. It's got rat guts and blood on it.
I will prestidigitate the flask.
Yeah, you go ahead and do that. It's clean now. Looks good as new. Nice and clean. Squeaky clean, you might say.
Shmo starts
She like,
kicking the carcass to the corner.
she like takes out a little handkerchief and is making sure that this flask is fucking clean.
Yeah, it
I
looks clean.
I prestidigitate the rest of it, and then I will sit in the center of the room and use the charm from the oh gosh, the Chewingas
Yes.
to do Liamin's tiny hut.
Yeah,
Alright.
Charlotte's going to just a little tiny into the flask with her tea and just like screw on the cap and like put it in his pocket.
All right.
In Stephic's pocket.
You do so. And he doesn't move as you do this. He's got like one hand still just like reached out like where his flask was. And
Oh god.
and the one hand is like over his forehead and eyes, and he just has like a not a good look on his face.
Does anyone mind if we move Sefik to one of the beds? I feel awful. I don't think he's doing very well.
Not at all. Yes, let's move him. I'll put him on a bedroll.
All
One
right.
of the two. No
Shmo,
rats will be entering, so.
can you get his legs?
Oh, yeah, I got his legs.
All right.
And she goes and hefts him up. He's a wizard, so he probably weighs fucking nothing, right?
He's a little bit heavier than you thought he was gonna be. And
probably all the daggers.
yeah, and if you touch any part of his skin, it feels cold to the touch.
He is chilly. All right. Let's get you into bed,
And she'll heft him over with Schmo and tuck that boy in.
All right, you do so. You tuck him into the bedroll, and you, while no rats can enter your Liamin's tiny huts, you can hear them on the outside. They're kind of
Ew.
upset at your hut,
fuck?
it seems. You can kind of hear them in the background outside.
Are y'all opposed to cooking them?
Yes.
Why?
Well, because I think that the innkeeper is a little bit I don't know, doesn't want to seem to get rid of them for some reason.
Oh,
I don't want to. Yes.
should have not killed that one.
It's not your fault. I don't believe I imparted that knowledge onto you. You sort of ran off in the direction of the nearest bathhouse. But that's all right. Now, what's done is done. Just
All right.
try not to murder any more of them.
Sorry, I'm just used to, getting them done.
I know. I know that is by far your MO, Schmo. Your SCHMO. Yes.
And she sits down.
I appreciated what you were going for, but it didn't stick to landing.
No. I should have delivered with more confidence.
True.
Yeah, she sits in like just a corner of the hut where she'll be able to see everyone when she does her little sentry mode.
All right, so you're able to do so.
No curls up.
All right, you are all able to go to sleep unless there's anything else anyone would like to do before you head off to bed.
We're gonna talk in the morning, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess we could do it now. So she will. Before we
It's up
all
to you
get
guys.
comfy. It doesn't matter to me. She'll impart the basically everything she heard, and I can dump that in the chat, so
Okay, sounds
Will
good.
can look over it.
All right, sounds good. You do that, and that you guys go to bed. And with that, we will go ahead and take a quick break. So go ahead and stretch your legs, grab some drinks, get some snacks, and we will take a quick break while the group takes a long rest. And we will be back in just about 15 minutes or so.
Rime of the Frostmaiden will be taking a short break. We should be back in a few minutes. Take this moment to refresh yourself, stretch, and perhaps get yourself a cup of tea. If you do not have the appropriate dishware, I will be happy to provide it myself, as well as the appropriate beverage. While you're waiting, do check out our social media. Any links to them are provided on screen. Follow our Twitter at A Minstrel's Tale for updates and additional content, and be sure to also follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/minstrel's tale to receive notifications for when the next stream goes live. Missed past episodes? Don't worry, they're all available to view on our YouTube channel, A Minstrel's Tale. Additionally, check out our card, rimeofthefrostmoa.crd.co for character bios, links to other social media, and more. Enjoy the break, and we'll be back soon with more Frostmaiden.
Good evening, viewers. Zarius here, reminding you to get up, stretch, even look away from your monitor for a few minutes. After all, self-care leads to a healthy mind, and, well, you want to be alert for what comes next. Perhaps even brew yourself a cup of tea. Get a little caffeine in you. Charlotte makes, by the way, hands down the very best tea in existence. If you think otherwise, I'd recommend stating your opinion outside of fireball range. I tend to get a little bit protective when she's involved.
Pleased to meet you. My name is Charlotte. I am a warforged of unknown origin with quite a few gaps in my memory. I first remember coming to consciousness when my now traveling companion and new flame Zarius stumbled upon my form buried under several feet of snow. He was on the brink of death when he found me, but I was able to give him another chance at life, just as he had me. We decided to travel together after that, and had been doing so for a year prior to meeting the rest of our lovely group. I do my utmost to protect all of them, as I care for them all deeply. That sometimes involves striking bargains with entities that don't exactly accept prayer in the traditional sense. But if anyone were to dare harm a member of my party, there would surely be bloodshed anyhow, don't you think? As for my missing memories, I'm quite torn on the matter. While I'd like to know more about my past, I suspect that what I learned will be neither pleasant nor painless if what I have recovered thus far is any indication of what's to come. I'm not going to let that get me down, however. While I'm not the biggest fan of my past, I am more than happy with my present, traveling 10 towns with my dear companions and protecting them every step of the way.
Arriving to the utterly insufficient dance floor, a beauty of unknown and mysterious origins whose piercing green eyes and agile movements movements have lanced through the heart and souls of any fated to see her, including my own. I give you the amazing, the cheerful, the unmatched Terpsichore.
Oh, Mistral, stop! You're making me blush. As Mistral so magnificently stated, I am Terpsichore. I've danced my way across the lands far and wide, filling crowds with glee. The lovely Clothis has led me to 10 towns with my wonderful, amazing, beautiful, spectacular friends. Fulfilling our predestined past is much more than I could have ever asked for, really. Oh, but do be careful. I won't hesitate to cut anyone's threads. Oh, wait. If you don't understand what that means, I mean that I'll kill you.
If your heart hasn't been moved, I know your wallets have. If you want to know more about this mysterious beauty, make sure to buy a copy of her artfully woven book, The Secrets of Faerun, sold at fine traders and general stores all across the realm.
Hi, I'm Dorielle, but you can call me Dory. You know what? We should just be friends. We should just be friends. I'm gonna tell you some stuff about me, and then you can tell me some stuff about you, and then we'll be friends, right? Okay, so a couple of things about me. I'm a satyr, obviously, but I'm from the Feywild, which is different from Schmo. He's from Cactus. I'm 10. My favorite food is sticky buns, especially when Zarius makes them. I really love the color lilac. I really like parties. I really like pranks. I'm super smart. I'm super wise. Ooh, I'm gonna tell you about my best friend. Her name's Niru. She's really nice. She brought me to 10 towns and she made me super duper powerful. And you know what? You should meet her. You can join the Best Friends Club and she'll make you super powerful too. I think I see Charlotte coming over here. And she doesn't look too happy. I might be in trouble. Don't worry, I'm really good at getting out of trouble, especially with Charlotte. But I think I have to go. I promise I'll talk to you later. You can tell me all about you, but I have to go. Okay, bye!
Howdy there, my name's Schmo Iverson. It's a pleasure. I ended up in 10 towns due to some mind flayers abducted me when I was on my lonesome back in my homeland of Flagstaff. Stuff they did was mighty nasty, but to my surprise, their ship went and crashed in 10 towns. Luckily for me, I was born an Icewind, and so I made my way to 10 towns trying to figure out a cure for the parasite the mind flayers put in my brain. Along these travels, I did end up bumping into my party, and the rest is history. Though, might be important to mention, I did pass away in a nasty tussle, but was brought back by someone I have yet to know much about, hey, I got magic now.
A most eloquently spoken and unnaturally skilled plucker of strings surely needs no introduction. But if my realm-shaking reputation and voice, the likes of which the gods themselves wait on, have not reached the pale and unfortunate rock you live under, hearken to my words, for I will fill your poor uncultured ears with the tales of minstrel, harpist, bard, adventurer, and weaver of extraordinary stories. My voice unmatched, my tales unbeatable, my heart untaken. Or is it? Come now, dear listener, I will weave you tales of plucky adventures, downtrodden citizens, untoward warlords, and evils only the mightiest of hearers might vanquish. Listen well, for this very night I leave to share my stories and my lovely self with the next town in need of my glowing presence. Tonight you will become another one of the Bard Minstrel's biggest fans.
Humanity has many theories on why the universe is so quiet, on why we haven't discovered signs of intelligent life or heard the echoes of other sapient species of the past. Not many would have guessed it was because we were being protected, sheltered from the rest of the universe, from an ever-expanding war, and ultimately, our responsibility within it. Regardless of whether or not humanity is ready for it, great change is coming. Evolution on a daily scale, powers that resemble magic from mythology, and an all-consuming enemy clawing at the proverbial gate. Humanity must adapt or die. Neither Arthur Blackburn nor his family are prepared for these tribulations, but they are determined to rise to the challenge. Ascendant Family is a lit RPG post-apocalyptic fantasy adventure centered around a family and their fight to survive, grow, and reunite in a world drastically changed by a foreign energy. They will fight beasts, monsters, and even their fellow man as they try to keep themselves and their community alive and safe. Grappling with new powers, strange enemies, and unexpected allies, they attempt to carve out a place for themselves in the new chaos of Earth, as they struggle to understand this new energy, the changes it's causing, and the strange war humanity has been thrust into. Greetings, audience. Please gaze upon the majestic makers of maps who enhance our stream. These colorful cartographers have no equal, and if you too wish to tread upon their velveteen creations, simply head to one of their Patreons below. These wizards of topography will surely appreciate it. They are Pog's Props, Maps and Quests, Dr. Mapso, Cartographer's Cantrip, Dynamic Dungeons, Dicegramorium, Incarnate, The Modern Lich,
Frostmaiden will be back in just a few moments. Please gather up all snacks, loved ones, and ensure that you are seated comfortably and appropriately before you rejoin us on our adventure. We're glad to have you.
Ever the industrious adventurers, you can find A Minstrel's Tale on a plethora of social media websites. You can visit us on Twitter, for example, at A Minstrel's Tale. And, please, don't forget that we stream every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can find us at twitch.tv/Minstrel's Tale. And, well, if you happen to miss a stream, a terrible crime indeed, have no fear. All of our previous streams are available on YouTube at the A Minstrel's Tale channel. Thank you for watching our content, and if you're feeling kind, please follow us.
All right, so I hope everyone had a good break. We are back, and thank you everyone for joining us today. I just wanted to do a friendly reminder that we do have a charity ongoing with soft giving for the Trevor Project. So if you are able and feeling charitable this eve, go ahead and you can actually, let me get the donation bar going. I'm so sorry, I didn't have that open. You can go ahead and click the link below and donate to a great cause which helps LGBTQ youth. So yeah, go ahead and check that link out. I will also get the socials of the players going for you. So if you would like to, go ahead and give these players a follow. Go ahead and check out their Twitters there and see what's the latest happenings with them. So, with that, for anybody just joining us now, what has been going on is the players, or the party just took a long rest. So the party just took a long rest. They're currently in the town of Targos, and they're staying in a very old establishment that is infested with rats, unfortunately, for Zarius, who is not fond of them. Or Schmo, it would seem, as before our break, he stomped on a rat, killing it. So, however, everyone slept in Liamon's tiny hut last night, so they were safe from any making new friends. And with that, the party comes to wake at kind of a little bit later in the morning than you all usually sleep in. Usually you guys wake up quite early, but having had a late night last night, you wake up a bit later. You can hear the sounds of people out in the common area. You can smell breakfast being made. Let me know what you guys would like to do.
Hey, so yeah, I guess Charlotte would be kind of the first person to wake. How's everyone looking? Does Sefik look like hell still? I assume he's asleep.
He is still sleeping. You look over to him. He's still in the bed, and he's got like one leg hanging off the bed, and he's knocked out still.
Mm.
Yeah, Schmo is also still sleeping. He's like big snoring.
Yeah, Charlotte's gonna sit up and take out some jerky, like beef jerky from her rations, and just like wave it in front of Schmo's nose.
His nose starts doing a sniff, and then his eyes snap open. Jerky.
Good morning.
And she just kind of like drops the jerky on his face.
Yeah, he
That's for
just
you.
You're so con, and he's just gonna like use his tongue to like drag it into his mouth.
Oh my god. She like shrugs like, I don't need to eat.
Well, what is the plan for the morning? Oh wait, we talked about the stuff that yeah, because I posted it in chat. We
Yeah.
discussed like the rumors and such.
Yeah, I imagine you guys probably shared all the information, and maybe we're like, maybe we can talk more about this in the morning if we'd like. But
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What do you think about well, what they're talking about in East Haven? Do you think it's true that the wizard there possesses some sort of magic that no one's ever heard about? It didn't sound familiar to me.
It does. I'm quite interested. At the same
I would
time,
imagine.
it's not the easiest thing to manipulate energy, but it is possible. Here, I'll cast. I'll cast Ice Knife, and you guys watch it enter the spellbook, and it turns into fire, and we'll just hit the wall of the shield, I guess.
Wait, what? It's a fire knife? Question mark?
Yes, I can turn certain damage types into others.
Oh, I see. Well, it sounded to me like he was doing some sort of siphoning of magic.
That
With
is
Serious.
far more
that,
dangerous. Yes.
Serious, roll me an Arcana check.
Okay.
Mo does a big yawn. Magic, schmagic.
That is 20 total.
All right, we love to see that. So,
Smart boy.
with a 20,
It's hard to roll low when you have a +8 at the moment.
so with a 20, you, as you're kind of talking about this wizard, and Charlotte mentions the siphoning, you are kind of like, wait a minute. I have read, not heard, sorry. I'm so sorry. Your boy reads. You have read about this before. You have read about the ability to siphon magic, and they typically do call these people siphoners. You know that they are a tough anti-magic based spellcaster, that they can consume and repurpose magic around them and used against them. You know that they do indeed use their bodies for conduits of magic. You know that there are a couple of different types of siphoners. You know that there is a surge siphoner, a wellspring siphoner, and also a void siphoner. So you are aware of these different siphoners. You know that they are very rare, and that it's something that's typically frowned upon. People have notable siphoners that you can think of or that you've read about have been not people you would hang out with, like not people that you would probably agree with, you know? So yeah, you yeah, that is what you know, sir.
Alright, I will convey that to the group and let them know the sort of, I guess, nefarious reputation.
Mm-hmm.
many siphoners have.
All right. So, with that, yeah, you guys know that, and let me know if there's anything else you guys would like to do.
Well, that is actually very concerning. Especially considering we are a very magical group. Um, there was talk that he had killed adventurers before.
Why would someone kill adventurers in 10 towns? Just doesn't make any sense.
Not a clue. I mean, I can't imagine that there are very many adventurers to begin with.
How far away is East Haven from Targos? That's where we were. Was that where we were heading, or?
That's like
Yes.
on the way. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
our
Okay.
next stop, I believe.
Yeah, it's Targos is on the way. Yeah,
Okay.
so it is on the way to where you are going.
And East Haven was where we were going.
Hmm.
I
That's
guess the
where the wizard
Siphoner
is.
is probably the wizard that they're going to murder.
Yes, that you.
Yeah, that's what they.
Okay. I would like to ask around town if there's any regular adventure where I guess I'll ask the innkeeper if there's
Give
such
any
a thing as
non-shady shit.
yeah. Is there any regular adventure work that needs to be done?
So, you're able to do so. You go out and you ask the innkeeper about that, and the innkeeper he lets you know that while there are a lot of jobs to be found in here in Targos, he kind of looks at you and he's like, I doubt you'll be able to pick up any of them. I mean, you lot are just a group of adventurers, and you're not one of the registered crews here. And any work. I mean, I could ask around, or I could see. Let me think about it. And the innkeeper seems kind of like he wants to help you. Is kind of the vibe you're getting. You're getting the vibe that like he wants to help you with things, but he he tells you, you know what, actually, there is a job. It's well, it's not one you'd have to be registered with the guild here to take up.
Do
it's-
tell.
Well, you see, there was recently there was a sled dog running through the street, and the dog belonged to a Garrett Valerin, a wilderness guy. He led a small expedition up Kelvin's cairn, and the dog led someone. I forget the gentleman's name, but anywho, the dog had led someone to Garrett's house, and Garrett's husband Keegan was very alarmed to see the dog without its master, and has been fearing for Garrett's life. So, Keegan has kind of posted up, wanting to see if anyone can help with finding his husband, Garrett.
Climb Kelvin's Khan.
Yes,
Alright. Well, suppose we need to go talk to Keegan then. Where?
Yes.
Where is Keegan located?
Well, Keegan, he lives a couple houses down from the Three Flags Selling. They've got what once was a river view, though it's frozen over now. We've got a place over there. They're the big house on the corner. The wilderness guide work has earned the couple quite a pretty copper, gold, platinum, whatever they're earning. They earn quite a bit. They do pretty good for themselves, those lads.
All right, so Kelvin's Khan. That is in the opposite. Well, not the opposite, but it's not along the way.
I'm sure.
Right. We.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, no, good. That's all good. I was just gonna. We'll talk to Keegan, and do you want us to tell him you sent us, or would you rather just wait?
Oh, yes. Tell him that I sent you. That would be great.
All right.
They did
I will
post up he did post up his request over there, and he points to a board that looks like just tattered and like it looks a mess. And you see like a small tattered parchment that has like scribbling on it, and it is the only paper there basically on this board.
Oh god, okay.
You
So this
get-
town has just been completely taken over by fucking...
Does the innkeep, by the way, seem like upset or like pissed off about like, does he seem like upsetty, like considering the rat thing that happened? Or does it seem like he doesn't know or like is not showing it?
He is none the wiser to whatever happened with the rat. He
Oh.
was not in your
Not
room.
aware. Not aware of
Yeah,
rat crimes.
he was not in your room, and he is not aware of. He is not aware. Sorry, there's sled dogs outside. Hold on, just a sec.
Not aware of the rat stomping of 2026.
We're in the future.
Yeah,
Some Shibas are getting yelled at.
Naughty.
that's me.
I enjoy how consistent the, like, pay attention to me bark is.
Okay, sorry, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Welcome back.
There was some sled dogs out there being very worried. God.
Oh, rambunctious.
You know, I separated them, but that doesn't seem to have worked. Hold on just a sec.
Okay.
I've got an angry sled. Hold on, I'll be back.
Doggo, interrupt. We need a Frostmaiden doggo interruption bit.
Oh, like a Frostmaiden bingo?
Yeah. Or no, just like a where people submit the like stretch or get water. It's summon the Shivas.
Summon the sheebs. We could, and then
Unleash them upon the stream.
we could make a sheep cam.
Yeah. I want a Shiba cam.
Yeah, so that's basically that. So you guys have got this quest. Yeah. So let me know if you'd like to go over to Keegan's house. Keegan and Garrett, two husbands who have made their home here in Targos.
Any other rumors we want to talk about?
I
Did
say we
Mistral hear
mentioned
anything?
everything.
She tells you that she. Actually, let me roll for her. I'm so sorry. 1D.
Mistral. I was too busy flirting to pay attention.
Hold on a sec. Okay. Let's see what Mistral heard. Mistral heard word on the street, word in the tavern. So Mistral heard word on the tavern was some folks were talking about Kirkonig. They were talking about how a local establishment, or some local establishments, were beset by vandals and thieves that skulk about the unseen, though they haven't been able to successfully steal anything recently. And they talked about how Trovis, the speaker of that town, seems to be really incompetent, as while there hasn't been any thievery lately, that the interlopers had not yet been caught.
Literally so rude.
So she heard that. She also heard that in Targos, a band of adventurers are planning an expedition up the side of Kelvin's cairn, hoping to find Oyaminoratak, a Goliath lycanthrope who can transform into a polar bear. If you're hungry, you might be able to join the expedition. She also heard...
Holy shit.
She also heard that in Brinshander, there are some dwarves who will pay good money to anyone who can find a lost shipment for them. A lot of lost shipments out here in 10 Towns, I wonder why.
Suspicious.
They're all being stolen by the fucking Targos syndicate.
The giant.
The fucking Skyrim Thieves Guild out here.
Don't slander them. Oh my god.
Am I slandering the Skyrim Thieves Guild or the Targos syndicate?
You know, that's
Both.
a good...
No.
Yeah.
So, Zarius, you're the only one who went out, correct? So you're the only one who went out into the... to go talk to the innkeeper?
Yeah, unless somebody wanted to go with me. I just went out to talk to him.
Uh-huh.
Zarius is not going to be like, no, stay, I must talk to the innkeeper alone. That's not happening. But yeah, I talked to him and I'll head back to the group.
All right. Before you head back to the group, Zarius, you do notice a group of people in the common area. The common area is like a big room, a big open room with a large fireplace. And you do notice a gentleman sitting there in that room with a couple of people around him. And you're not really able to make out what they're saying, but the gentleman that you see, he has a curious pet with him. He has a flying snake, and you kind of catch a glimpse of him feeding a rat to one of the flying snakes that he has. And you notice that he has a tiefling who sits nearby him, kind of almost as if, like, you can ascertain that they're close, like that they know one another.
Do I have any indication from the way they're dressed? Are they dressed as nobles, working class? Are they dressed like all the other shady fucks in this town?
Oh, you notice that these two are dressed very well. They're dressed very well.
It's just two of them?
Yes, there's two of them. They're dressed very well, and they kind of have an air about them, as if, like, you kind of get the vibe of, like, these people, like, they're rich. They're kind of, like, acting like they own the place. Like, they're they just give you, like, vibes that they spread a lot of money around.
Sure how you can act uppity in an establishment with rats roaming undefeated, but alright.
Do you say that out loud?
No, that's an internal thought. I don't think Sirius would say something like that out loud.
I was just asking for a friend. Just for a friend.
Just for a friend. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So you see that, and you able to do with that what you will.
He enters the hallway and casts Mage Armor.
Yeah. You cast Mage Armor?
Yeah.
Out
Ab-
in an open or in your room?
No. Once he's in the hallway,
Oh, okay.
if there's nobody there, he casts Mage Armor.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to do that kind of sneakily in the hallway. Innkeeper does see you, and he kind of shrugs it off. He's like, oh, whatever. All right.
A paranoid mage? Ah, whatever. That's fucking normal.
He just saw you cast a spell. He don't know what the fuck it is. He's just like, whatever.
Fair enough.
In his mind, he's like, oh, he can cast magic. Okay, maybe these folks, like, they are competent and they can help find the missing husband, you know? Find Garrett. So, yeah. What would you guys like to do?
I would like to go talk to this Keegan fellow. Is there anything any of you would like to do first?
Well, if we're going to, are we not going to talk to the speaker in this town?
I get the feeling that would be a bad idea.
How so?
I don't think the speaker here is going to listen to us. I get the feeling the speaker here is probably the type of man that, woman, I don't know.
It's a man. Neth Max Dinar. He's a former rogue of Luskan.
That's right. You told us about that. Luskan, how anything can be bought and sold. And I say anything rather derogatorily.
It's why he stays here, because he quite likes the feeling of home that the Luskan Arms brings to him. Sefik is kind of like sitting up groggily as he says this. Glad we haven't run into him yet.
I have the feeling that for someone like that, sacrificing someone once a month is a convenient way to get rid of someone, rather than, how do you say, actually believing it appeases Oro?
Sefik points at you, like almost as if in a bingo kind of hand motion.
That is incredibly disappointing.
So then, alright, probably difficult to convince him without some other backing, to stop this sort of, sacrificial,
Nonsense.
behavior.
Yes. I suppose if we could get, find the Garrett fellow, get Keegan on our side.
That would be a start. How much, how far away is this job? It's sort of not in the direction of East Haven, correct?
No, we'd be going all the way back to, we'd get to at least stay at the Northern Light, see how Goot is doing.
That is true, and that is tempting. How much longer do we have, though, before,
We definitely should visit East Haven first.
Alright, but then no harm in taking this job and, handling it after? Is that what you're saying?
I think so. We can at least get the details. Either way, it's not... If someone is lost on a mountain, it's not good. That's for sure. But neither is the... quickly... We are losing days quicker than I thought. I think we only have something like 2.5 weeks before this wizard is executed.
Yes, that's correct.
Well, Siphoner, no?
Yes, not exactly a lot of time. I do agree with that, though. We should probably look into this job and then, make our way to East Haven.
I agree with that.
Also, fun information. The Siphoner is a homebrew class made by a good friend of mine.
Noise.
I will post the link in the stream chat. Players, please don't look into this. But for any of you viewers out there, the Siphoner is a tough anti-magic spellcaster made by Matthew Arter. aka Dungeon Matter on Twitter, and I'll link his Twitter as well. Like to sneak in homebrew stuff that people make. Sorry guys.
Oh, you're fine. Forbidden knowledge.
Forbidden knowledge. Yeah, please don't go and buy that and read up on it in meta. But that's for the viewers out there, not for the players.
Why? Will we be fighting this Siphoner?
I mean, maybe.
Oh, I have
don't
no
know.
idea what you'll be doing with the Siphoner. That's
Yikes.
But I mean, like, it would give you knowledge to this person than I've already more than I've already given to you. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Don't worry, you'll be meeting them sooner or later. Hopefully sooner than later. Hopefully before they get executed.
Yeah.
Sus DM is
I don't think we could really meet them otherwise.
Yes. Or could you? But anywho's it's would you guys like to go to Garrett's or Keegan's and Garrett's house, I suppose? Okay.
Yeah.
I would love to. We need to go to Kelvin's Carn anyways.
Anything you would like to do before you leave the inn? I keep getting Tavern and inn mixed up. I'm so sorry.
Fine.
Well, we get free food. We may as well eat here.
Yeah.
Fill up the flasks.
You want to eat the fucking rat tavern
You're
food?
gonna
Or
eat
rat
in the
inn
rat
food?
tavern?
We ate at the Rat Tavern when we got here.
Yeah, you guys ate
So
there
it's
the night you
okay.
arrived.
Got it. I mean, I don't have to eat.
Yeah,
I can clean my food and make it taste like whatever I like.
I don't think prestidigitation works on food, but whatever. Helps you sleep at night.
It's non-living material.
Yeah. So
Clean food. I think that just gets rid of the food.
So yeah,
Bye.
you guys are able to go out into the kind of common area, get your food, and yeah, you all see these two gentlemen out there, and the one gentleman has a cage with two flying snakes in it, and as you go out to the common area, seeing this gentleman, Sefik kind of stops and takes a turn on his heels. And as he does so, you guys watch as the gentleman sitting in quite a large plush, almost like, just like very nice, like chair, calls out to Sefik. Sefik, long time no see. And
We have some business with our friend.
with that, we'll end the session there.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Okay.
Charlotte's immediately in a defensive position.
I'm
saying, my
sorry.
boy?
I would
Going through it.
I would love to continue, but Terpsy had to go to bed, and I feel really bad. I feel bad to continue without her.
It's fine. I'm honestly, I'm more drained than I thought I would be after kitty adoption.
Yeah, I would love to continue, but yeah, I feel
I'm
bad.
glad I cast mage armor.
Me too. Oh my god, buddy.
You're gonna throw down in this tavern? What? I was really
don't
excited
know.
for you taking that quest for Keegan and Garrett. I was like, fuck, I really want them to go to Keegan and Garrett's place and, get this quest, and I was really hyped for that, but like it's like a balance of when people are either late or early. I try to balance it, or people have to step away. I try to balance it to where their characters can be doing stuff that makes sense, like run away to a bathhouse or take to the stage and dance their heart away. But there's some moments that I really, 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 as much as I want to pursue them, do not want to rob the players of. So
I mean,
that is fair.
I am gonna be missing next session though.
Fuck.
Shit.
Holidays, like I said, the only sessions I'll be
right.
able to actually do is the 11th and then Christmas.
That's right. Okay.
Shit, but Christmas.
That's right. We can figure something out for that. Shit.
Maybe there's another day that would work for everybody. I don't know. Fuck.
I could probably reschedule or something. Pick a different day.
I don't know.
I wouldn't mind that. As far as it goes, Saturdays just don't work at the moment. They have me close it on those. So.
Yeah, I'm... Yeah. We can try to figure something out.
Okay.
Shoot.
Maybe I
Shoot!
can
Now I'm
run,
like, do I keep going? And we bring
maybe-
Terpsy, since Terpsy's gonna get next session and Shmomi miss out, fug. Difficult
well,
decisions to be made.
Is
I could
there any
always-
other days you could try to do as opposed to Saturday? Or...
It is a bit difficult.
yeah,
Sundays would
stream.
probably be the other day that I could do.
Well,
I
it'd be a
can't do late
Sunday
night Sundays.
evening.
Yeah, it would have to be. It'd be a Sunday evening, like Sunday at 6.
Well,
Mondays
I
I
could
can't.
work. I would just be late for an hour.
I can't do Mondays. Yeah, Sundays would be like the best day to be honest, because work. It's tough for me to run a stream on
Workday.
on a work day. Yeah, because I may work late. Easier to guest on a stream, but
That's valid. If you do Sunday and you guys start at like what 7 or 6?
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
like I'm an hour ahead of you guys.
Yeah, that would
and
be
my
7 your time.
Yeah,
So
I'd only
would that
be
work?
late by like an hour and 30ish. So not the whole session, because my work for Sundays we get off at 8.
okay, we can
Sometimes 8:30ish. So
we can figure it out. We'll figure it out. We can chat it up in scheduling and Discord and whatnot.
Yeah.
But with that, we'll go ahead and end the stream. I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, we will do that, and yeah, I hope everyone had a good session. Thank you, viewers, for joining us today. Yeah, and we will see you next time. I will keep the information posted up on Twitter, so go ahead and give us a follow. That way you can be on the up and up on what's happening with the scheduling and such. And we will see you next time. If you're interested in checking out A Curse of Strahd, I'm guesting still on Talking XP on Mondays over there. So give them a peek and yeah, see some intense D&D scary time. So yeah, I hope you all had a good time, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, let's do a raid. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Oh no. Did you do it?
Yeah, we're gonna do a raid. So raid, we'll do a raid and then we will go.
So, if we want to skip one session...
Give me just a sec to talk about scheduling, please, while I do the raid.
Fair enough.
So
I'm just
sorry.
gonna offer a one-shot.
Oh! Yes.
Oh, word.
Yes. You
We,
have
like,
my interest, sir.
instead of worrying about who can show up for next Saturday,
Yeah.
I could just do a one-shot or something like that. I recently bought Tales from the Yawning Portal, so...
Count
hell
me
yeah.
in.
Okay.
Count me in. Okay, are we good? Are you 10 out of 10 good for that? Like 100%?
Yes, if everyone wants to make one-shot characters, I would need to put together some maps
Let's do it.
on Roll20. Roll20
Mhm.
is...
Yeah,
Let's
just
do
let me
it.
know a little bit about like what kind of adventure you want to run.
Let's do it. I'm looking for someone to raid right now. Let's see. We're gonna raid. We're going to raid. We're going to raid. We are going to raid. You know, we're gonna raid these guys, Bindflayer Inc. Let's go ahead and give them a raid. See what they've got going on over here. Dago Mars. They've got a drow over here. Cool. An in-person heavy roleplay. So we love to see that. So let's get this raid going over there. There we go.